couldn't stay away. He just couldn't help himself. What's up, Emma Bemalema? Boy Tiger rockin' what's good? Spear Fear. Lupus, the Owl Taku, DJ Emerald, Jeremy Duck. How y'all living? How y'all living? It's a Sunday evening. Why not relax, sit back, and enjoy a ridiculous amount of shit to go over? Huge day for the unemployed. Well, get ready. Be on in just a few more moments here. Just need to grab a few last things here. Yeah, in case chat doesn't behave well, I'm going to attack you all with Kirby plushies. Really do some fucking damage. Is it demon time? God. If demon time means lawsuits, yeah. See here. Yeah. Oh, incredible. So, how y'all living? Good evening. Had to take a little bit of a breather as, well, he started his lawsuit brigade, which means that for me, unfortunately, as cool as it is to go over somebody, you know, somebody reporting all these people, or excuse me, Mizkif suing these people, as great as it is to cover it, it also means that for me, unfortunately, the teat will run dry. Everyone's going to do what they're supposed to be doing, which is shutting the fuck up. So we're not going to really have much to go over with that. Turn on the music. I like that song. How are you guys doing? I'll take a few moments here. We've got a big stream. We have got a lot to cover. We're going over 3 separate things, and admittedly, we're going to be doing something a little different. So the people that are here, you guys are very lucky. You guys are going to be getting the viewing pleasure of all 3 of these stories as we go over it. But the cut down and edited videos of this, I'm going to have one of them come out right away, which is talking about the Mizkif stuff. And then the following two, I'm going to be preserving. I'll probably put them onto membership only for viewing. And then they'll be set to release Wednesday and Friday, being that if there's no drama going down. And that's because I've got over the weekend, I have like a bachelor party. I'm about to get married. I'm getting married in like a little bit more than a month, like a couple of days more. So we're doing that. I won't be home. I will be drinking heavily, so I won't be here. And I want to make sure that you guys have some stuff, and make sure at the very least this week leading into that weekend is going to be chock full of stuff for you guys. So thank you very much. Yeah, we're getting a government contract that says we like to kiss each other and plan to do it for a while. So it'll be sick. Let me take a look here. But we've got a lot of shit to cover, a lot of stuff to get planned. In what kind of location are you getting married? Not like a straight up church, but it's like a place that people get married in because it's pretty, essentially. But it's okay. Okay, gotcha. So there we go. So in essence, I think the first thing to go over is Mizkif because the dude is being weird. Now I'm calling it a crash out, but it's not what you would expect with a crash out. And firstly, I need to get this recorded. I just want to visit with you guys. I never really get to chat. I usually just jump straight into what we're doing. Guys, remember, if you leave her out on the patio for 6 hours straight, you're gonna have to show chat and it'll be really embarrassing. Oh yeah. And she has her Kirby plushies. I have my drywall that I can punch through when I get upset. We haven't broken the front door lock yet, but she hasn't tried streaming. As soon as she does, oh, that shit's getting slammed. Hassan Piker pulled a mango. What did he do? Was he dry humping the air? What happened? Dry humping the air in front of a woman? In front of her face? Sounds like a plan. Oh yeah. Biggest issue I have the lawsuit. Mizkif legit has no case for him since he admitted to pretty much everything on stream. So I will say this before we get started with like the recording part, so that the new stuff. If there's anyone, hopefully in like the 200 people here, if anyone knows anything about the law, I'm very curious about this. So for those of you who are like aware of the Emiru, what she claimed was sexual assault, which is like the biggest thing that Mizkif is pushing back on is like that sexual assault claim. They outlined it in the lawsuit. What she's describing does not seem to be directly sexual assault. Was he being a completely shitty person and tried to make a move when she was in tears from her like telling of events? Yeah. But what she's describing, from what I understand from the law, isn't. So I'm curious about the defamation. If she's being very clearly like she believes that is sexual assault and she's describing it, it is actually very broad too. The way that she's describing it, do they have a defamation case even though she fully believes that is exactly what happened? Like, even if the court finds it that it was not sexual assault, but she believed it to be, and she shared that information, there's no, from how I understand it, there's no malicious intent if she truly believes that is what happened. So like, is it still going to be a legal issue where she could still get like found guilty of defamation in that sense? Because that doesn't really make sense. He's actually shown quite a lot. That's put Gerard's new video to shame as well. I do want to go over that as well. We actually have a few things prepped. I do have, God, that would actually be a great thing to post over the weekend for you guys. I will do the completionist stuff. A very awesome dude here named Zoe has been a bit of my researcher. He's timestamped those videos going over Gerard's as well, or excuse me, going over Carl Jobst. So I can go over that because I didn't do it. I got put to the wayside with this Mizkif stuff. She was in a moment of vulnerability, was clearly uncomfortable, so it seems like, yeah. Okay. So, right, it's quite broad, exactly. Okay. I'll try to reach out because I'm genuinely curious about that. I've heard mixed things about that specific part. They really believe it for it. Some kind of malice. Yeah, it's also confusion. Yeah. Here I am, talking to people that are tuning in for a drama stream, hoping someone's got lawyer advice. So maybe that's my fault. But okay, so we need to get started. I think the best way to go over this is just in the kind of chain of events of how I've titled this. So the first thing I want to go over is the Mizkif stuff. It kind of ties in with Emiru too. There were some recent updates. Twitch made some changes. I'm going to have to redo that. So there we go. We'll move that into the front. Fucking A. God, this is so cringy. So Mizkif is kind of back. He's been actually making posts. He's not really spoken about anything. He has recognized that he's kind of getting canceled right now, and he's being really weird. I'd say he's more like tweaking a little bit. I don't know if I'd really call it a crash out, so sorry for a bit of the clickbait. But he's doing really weird shit. So the first thing that I want to show you, he's posting on his Instagram, which is, you know, all right, like clearly it's not where his main viewership is. But the first thing I want to show you guys is one that some of you guys probably already have seen. Here we go. And then let me... There, booyah. So this is the first one. A lot of people had already seen this 4 days ago. He posted this.
Fuck you! Motherfucker.
So now I've heard this jokingly before. There's another one. He posted another, I think yesterday or today. Here's the thing. All right, we don't truly know. He doesn't explain why he posted this. He doesn't explain the context of it. I think you guys are intelligent enough. We've got a little bit of an understanding what context clues are. It's strange. I've heard that this is kind of a response to people getting canceled, or like they feel like everyone's like pushing it on them to kind of like go with it or something. This is my take. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. From my understanding, based off what I'm seeing, he's playing into this victim idea where he's, you know, being approached by the internet, right? And this person came up, spat on him, said, fuck you. And he's like, he doesn't even know why he's getting this hate, why he's getting shit on for this. Now, maybe he's doing that to be ironic. Given Mizkif's history, he's not really known for being really funny. He's known for being cringe funny. So I doubt that he would be not smart enough, but yeah, no, I doubt that he would ever do something like that ironically. It really comes off as he thinks he's a victim in this situation, that he is a victim of these people coming out of nowhere and just trying to cancel him. Interestingly enough, this shouldn't have come out of nowhere, as he was found and admitted on his own stream after Emiru put out her statements that he spoke to one of her employees at TwitchCon and said if they ever spoke about shit that he was going to go nuclear. Matter of fact, in his statement, he clarified that no, he didn't say he was going to destroy her like Emiru said, that he was going to go nuclear. If there was any signal for Emiru to get ahead of what was to come and to just get the information out, seeming that Mizkif was like trying to blackmail her or something like that, that would have been the time when he referenced that he would do something like this. So, like, you know, I don't know. I think maybe he is just rage baiting, knowing that he needs to squeeze a few more views out before his viewership just fucking tanks after this. Thank you for the follow, Dreadful Puppet. But yeah, it's strange. Following that, and again, like I said, I could probably find the clip. Asmongold also spoke about this. I'll include it in the full video, so here it is. Asmongold ended up commenting about what was going on about the lawsuit, and TLDR, it's just essentially he's not comfortable talking about it yet. He will talk about what he's capable and able to talk about, but as of right now, he has to treat it seriously, because it's a fucking lawsuit. So it kind of makes sense. That also does kind of put a damper on what I believe to be, or maybe this will help. I'm going to attach another clip here. He had made reference to the fact that there was potentially another huge like story that was going to come out around Mizkif, and it had 5 separate witnesses to the issue. There were 5 separate witnesses to the event that he was referencing. And the only reason that it hadn't come out yet is because those 5 different individuals were seeking legal counsel in preparation for coming forward with that story. Because Mizkif, if you guys couldn't tell, he likes to sue people that call him out for shit. So that, I'm assuming, given that this lawsuit has started up with Asmongold referencing that might actually end up dissuading those people. They might chill, take a step back because they don't want to get into this mess. Or alternatively, this could maybe say this could give them the courage to actually come forward with it, because what are the odds that Mizkif is embroiled in a lawsuit and then chooses to take on another one at the same time? Admittedly, I don't know how the system works. Maybe they would end up delaying it so that it would come after that one. But if he gets absolutely fucking steamrolled in this first one, it's going to be weird. It's going to be tough for him to follow that up with trying to sue again. That's all banking on this story even coming to light. But I digress. We've got a follow-up. So this came out a day ago, I'm assuming yesterday, and I'll just let it play.
Plan.
I don't even want to. It's so fucking loud. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna let it reset. So it's him just showing that he's getting a hair transplant. More specifically, I want to show you guys what he says at the very beginning. Let me try to refresh it. Was it F5 to refresh?
Let's go get a hair transplant.
Yep. Hold on.
Or being canceled. Let's go get a hair transplant.
He says day 4 of getting canceled. Let's go get a head transplant. And then it's this really fucking loud, obnoxious music.
Day 4 being canceled. Let's go get a hair transplant.
So yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Anything but accountability. Very true. So he's just doing this. It's kind of like I don't give a fuck. I'm getting canceled. I'm just gonna embrace it and then get viewership off the hate viewing. Didn't go to Turkey. I guess not. Maybe it isn't Turkey. But he's just not doing anything. Thank you for the game over, Boy Tiger Rocking. Yeah. Again, I think that if I had to just make a guess, and again, I know I say this a lot, but I'm just some dude on the internet that's been watching drama and like doing it for a job for a little bit. So like truly, this is just my opinion. Mizkif comes off as a person who genuinely believes that they are correct. I originally, when I was first kind of covering this stuff and looking at the 2022 allegations, also check out Turkey Tom's video. He did a really good in-depth recovering all of that. I was planning to do that and he beat me to the punch. But he is a very well in-depth talking about that 2022 coverage. I'm less inclined to believe that Mizkif is this malicious person who's like going out of their way to be vindictive and everything. I think he's so narcissistic or so full of himself that he genuinely believes that what he's saying is true and sees the world in the frame of reference that he talks about. Obviously, he has the ability to lie. He has the ability to make shit up. But I genuinely think that he thinks he is God's gift to streaming, to the world. And when he gets into moments like these, he thinks that this is the biggest middle finger to people. And he feels really good about this. Like, he genuinely believes that he's going to come out of this on top. Which, I mean, we don't know. We're not lawyers. But we have no idea. But it's this, like, I think he's just reveling in it. I think he just enjoys being in this position where he believes he's right and he thinks everyone else is wrong and stupid and below him. I'm not a psychologist. I have no basis for that other than watching his behavior and just like, I'm a people person. Take that for what it is. But it's just, it really rubs people the wrong way and it gets people to watch. That's been his whole thing with, being the streamer that he is. He connects people and he's really cringy and he gets clip farmed the ever-loving fuck out of in every stream because of how he acted. And for the longest time, like I'll pull up a clip for the video that I'm going over with this of when he was interacting with Cinna. Matter of fact, if we have it, that'd be awesome. But he's talking with Cinna and she's like, hey, you called me a leech and shit just for showing up. Like, don't you call everyone a leech behind closed doors? And then he starts responding and talking really cringe, like, yeah, because you guys aren't real to me. You guys aren't my friends. And he starts like doing this little rant. And up until now, everyone has looked at all of these little crash outs and little clips and going, oh, it's a character. They're being funny. Like there's a little bit of truth, but like it's for the show. Versus now we're looking at all of this in its entirety, this magnum opus of Mizkif, and knowing the context that this is how he acts behind closed doors. And finding out that all of those cringe clips that we thought were maybe a bit theatrical, maybe a bit, put on for show, are him just being genuine. And he actually believes these things, and it's mind-blowing. So that's where we're at. Following that up, though, we do have a bit from the Emiru stuff. Bro lost to a plushie. He did. He has not been playing a character. And I don't know. I prefer remaining objective with this kind of stuff. And Mizkif, like, I'm not a psychologist. I'm never going to be able to diagnose someone that I watch with like NPD. I love psychology. It was my goal to do that before if I was going to college. I didn't end up doing it. But like, I can't say any of that with sincerity. I would need someone who actually is, familiar with that stuff to even look at this. And you could never guess, because no one ever usually shows themselves for who they are on screen or on social media. But kind of in tandem with the Mizkif stuff, of course, Emiru is completely intertwined with all of this. And we actually got an update from Twitch in regard to Emiru and her assault that took place at TwitchCon. For those who don't know, need a refresher, she got attacked at her TwitchCon meet and greet that she needed to do so that she could host her own show while she was at TwitchCon. And a man just crossed over multiple barriers, no security stopping him, grabbed her, tried to kiss her, and the only guy that stopped her was her own personal security that she had brought. The second bodyguard that she had brought, the first one being barred from entering any TwitchCon because he did his job a year prior. He stopped someone, held them in place, didn't even like physically assault them or anything, just held them in place, and her original guard was barred. So all of this ends up happening. Twitch does, God, it was like a Watch Mojo top 10 of the worst reactions and follow-ups to someone getting assaulted at your event that I've ever seen. They just kind of were like, and Dan Clancy, the, owner, CEO of Twitch, effectively said, yeah, you can ban those people from your chat. You can kind of ignore them. So, what can you do? We can only do our best. They also said that they were like the cream of the crop of security and safety, which I don't remember anyone claiming they were. Well, a bit late, I would say. They have tried to rectify the situation, and they've done so by maybe apologizing a bit more and donating money, like putting money on the problem to try to make it go away. This is the first post. This is from Twitch. Dan Clancy ends up replying to it. We wanted to follow up on the post we recently made about a security incident at TwitchCon San Diego. As many of you know, at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego event, one of our valued creators, Emiru, was assaulted by an attendee during a meet and greet event. Although Twitch works very hard to try to keep TwitchCon's attendees safe and to prevent incidents like this from happening, we failed to do both things in this case, to keep Emiru safe and to prevent the assault from happening. We deeply regret the distress we caused for Emiru, our other creators, and the entire community. In recognition of Emiru's advocacy, Twitch will be making a donation to support nonprofit organizations working to prevent sexual violence. More details on that to follow soon. Hear me out. What if, I'm going to skip an ad for you guys. What if they use that money that they're donating to this nonprofit and invested it into firing and hiring new security and safety for their own company? Because I don't think anyone's worried about some nonprofit organizations that are that are working to prevent that. How about you work to prevent it? How about you keep your creators safe? That would be sick. That would be cool. I'm like, it's the most blatant. We have money. Calm down. Calm down. We have money. We give to charity. We're good now, right? Shake our hand. We gave money to people that might be getting assaulted. Okay. Well, funnily enough, you're not going to believe this. There was a community note added to this bad boy. Twitch has lied on several occasions regarding the incident, letting the assailant go after the attack and withholding evidence from authorities. This is incompetence. Dan Clancy called Emiru a friend, despite going on to victim blame her as he was out partying during all this. Oh, bit rough. Yeah, Dan Clancy went out and partied the same night. Interesting. Well, he ended up like, he replied on this tweet, which, believe it or not, Dan Clancy also got community noted. But he said, Twitch failed in our response to the assault of Emiru at 2025 TwitchCon San Diego. And in particular, I don't know why he needs to specify the year. Sorry. And in particular, I failed to communicate clearly in talking about the incident afterwards during an interview. I do not believe, and in no way intended to suggest, that Emiru had any responsibility whatsoever for the incident at TwitchCon. Here's, for the video, here's the clip of him saying and essentially victim blaming Emiru for having this person come to her. I have a great deal of empathy for what creators such as Emiru have to deal with every day. I was trying to express that, and I did that poorly. I'm sorry I let you down, Emiru, and I am so sorry Twitch let you down. We appreciate all that you have done over the years on Twitch, and we are committed to continuing to improve our TwitchCon security process. Committed to continuing to improve our TwitchCon security, processes, and communications so that we can show up better for you and all of our creators moving forward. That's why we're putting money into other nonprofits that have nothing to do with this. Ends up getting community noted again. Twitch lied multiple times about the incident, letting the assailants go and withholding evidence from authorities. Dan Clancy partied while victim blaming Emiru, whom he called a friend. Nina Lin was banned, then quietly unbanned a week later. Incompetence. So this is the most textbook. If you ever are wondering, if you're ever wondering, our class of soon-to-be prospective owners of companies that deal with public-facing employees like content creators, this is what damage control looks like, and it's what it looks like when it's a little too late. I'm kind of baffled that they followed up in this manner so long after the fact, and that during this they are they're allowing a streamer who actually sexually assaulted on stream. Not to say Emery didn't go through that. I'm not a lawyer. This woman sexually assaulted a man on stream, got called out for it, got banned for a week. 1 week for literally assault. That's illegal, by the way. Actually could have been charges pressed. And then followed up with immediately getting out of... So after her unban, she gets unbanned after that week, and she starts making fun of the fact that she got called out and banned for sexually assaulting. We're going to get into it. We've got a whole doc. Shout out to Zoe again, if you're here still. Thank you so much. Can't stand the way Nina Lin talks. She really doesn't think it's that serious. That would like cut it for this one. So then that moves into, we're going to be talking about Nina Lin. So I didn't cover the story because the Mizkif stuff was going on at the same time. There was some other stuff that had come out, and this Nina Lin thing had been existing for a while. Didn't she essay a minor on her return stream too? Yeah. It just gets worse. Perfect segue into it. Nina Lin, she's a streamer. She's been doing some stuff with, I think I want to say Agent in China. They had done a stream, I believe, in China. Confirm anyone who'd been looking at it. Straight into Bowl covered that too. Oh, hell yeah. Shout out to Straight into Bowl. But so let me pull this up over here. We've got, Nina would definitely be the follow-up here. So let's see here. Okay. Now, you guys will get to see this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this in the video that I make about this, because similar to the Emiru stuff, there have been people that have been getting their videos just straight up taken down, demonetized, and given a strike for even showing what happened, which, for the record, does not make it look doesn't make it look good for Nina Lin here. I don't know her entire history existing on the internet, so let me do a quick little Google AI research review. Let's see. I think everyone's just covering that, so I'm not gonna know. But she was kind of gaining some traction doing streams with Agent, all that. By the end of talking about Mizkif, he's probably gonna be unrecognizable in the thumbnails. But okay. So here's the original clip. This is the original clip that resurfaced going over this entire ordeal. 11 seconds. So we'll kind of go through it. I think this is the main stuff that we need. Most people are kind of up to speed about this part. So those who don't know, she's at another streamer, I believe Silky, and the person that she ends up assaulting is Silky's assistant, Saeed, I believe.
Hey, come here. I got you. Hey, come here.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
23.
No,
He's consensual.
no, he's not consenting.
Yes, he is.
He's not even saying nothing.
He likes it. Yeah, give.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I muted myself. That is Nina in the back here.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Hold on. Sit down.
Yo.
Sit down.
Now Nina might not have heard it, but he said it.
I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to. I don't know if body language would also help here. I don't think it could be clearer that this guy's not fucking interested.
Yeah, stay right there. Hold on. Sit down.
Yo.
Sit down.
You remind me of that one.
Now, okay, there's this kind of like running thing. I'm sure that you guys can understand what I'm about to explain here. If you are in a public facing situation, you're with your friends or something, or maybe it's like business related, which makes it a bit tougher to like relate to. Like there are situations where something happens to you, you're not stoked about it. Matter of fact, you're not really happy with it at all, but you choose to, for the sake of whatever, kind of public engagement you're in with, maybe it's like close friends, something like that. Maybe it's like a friend's partner touches you inappropriately, something like that. You're not going to make a huge stink of it in the moment, right? You don't want to ruin the entire moment, especially if like, it's going to bother other people or like it's a very serious thing. You're just going to kind of let it play out. You don't want to rock the boat in that moment, especially with like these people. You can see that he's kind of like laughing it off. He's trying to get away from her very clearly, but he's got a smile, People have pointed to that as saying, well, how could she know that's not okay? How could Nina know that pulling a man who's resisting her away from like touching him inappropriately, followed by her other friend like shaking her ass on him when he clearly is not consenting, how could she know that she wasn't supposed to do that? I guess if her parents didn't mention that, she didn't catch that, moral class, maybe he could have slipped her mind. But yeah, needless to say, wasn't super stoked. And the biggest thing coming out of it is that he ended up saying he was really not okay about that. Here are some of the screenshots from him talking about this, Saeed himself. So, this is his responses. We actually have the links to these as well. So this is what he had to say. Matter of fact, let's see if we can get it big and zoomed up because people prefer that. There we go. So this is the first one that had come out here. I've been vocal about the situation originally and nobody cared. It took me a lot to talk about it again, and for the third time it has hurt me once again where it'll take me time to heal from it again. I've been invalidated by the other parties, which don't realize what it did. So clearly not happy about what's been going on. This leads into, hold on here. He also talked about, and this was taken as well, here's this part as well. Are you mentally and emotionally traumatized not only with the physical aspect? They didn't even post the full thing. There is a part where they literally take me to the room and try to pull down my clothing. And then they ask, not standing with her, but why didn't you talk about this earlier? And why was you laughing in the clip? Shit was definitely wrong, but come on. He says, when it originally happened, most people were attacking me and I felt so uncomfortable talking about it that I only talked about it with people that I know. That was then further corroborated. Yeah, he did talk about it behind closed doors, but like crazy shit to happen while you're live streaming. Now let me pull up. So this is from, I believe, the entire thing. This is what we're talking about here. So the situation happens.
Yo, cut the cameras, bro. Don't do your shit. Let me get my Louis Vuitton scarf. Hold on, bitch. No outside clothes on the bed. Hold on. What's going on?
Turn the cameras off. I don't know if that's normalized for Nina, but just not Yeah. Most people can understand without taking a lesson in ethics or morals that, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that to someone that you know is not explicitly down for something like that. If there were two men doing that to a woman, this would not be, there wouldn't be controversy. It would just be mind-blowing that these two dudes are like still on the platform. They probably wouldn't be on the platform. That's fucking insane. So yeah, he responded, he starts talking about it. That was kind of like, you know, bringing this news up and started to get the ball rolling, so to speak. Oh, here's the other one. This is Nina denying. So this ends up right. So it ends up gaining traction. He ends up talking about it. And then Nina actually ends up speaking about it again. And she denies that there was any SA. She also said that it was embarrassing for him as a guy. Oh. Let's make sure volume's up for you guys.
I feel like you did some shit wrong.
No, so the whole Saeed thing, no one essay Saeed. That's why today I was actually looking for Saeed. I was gonna talk to him because he definitely felt disrespected as a person. Me, I take accountability what I do. If you dead ass felt disrespected, I didn't know. So you gotta let me know. If you did, I will always apologize. I mean, that's just normal people. But for him to walk around and say all that crazy shit, you never think about what Saeed's thinking too, though. Like, who wants to walk around being called that? That's embarrassing for him as a guy.
You ain't see Saeed today?
No, I was looking for him. I was looking everywhere for him.
I tried to patch that up.
I think he came out.
No, he was here. But I didn't see him at all. I saw him one time and he disappeared.
No, the moment I came over, he wasn't here. I'm not trying to be his friend, though. Why was you a bitch? Okay. But with Saeed, though, I do gotta talk to Saeed. You feel me?
Sorry. He would feel embarrassed as a guy for that happening. Crazy. So yeah, she also just denies that it's SA. I think I saw a voice critical video talking about this, and I gotta join in on him with the hot take here. Sexual assault bad. And it's mind-blowing that she thought the right move in this situation to just deny that sexual assault happened when it was literally on camera. He expressed how he felt about it. And this is the follow-up is that, yeah, honestly, he should be embarrassed. Like, he'd be embarrassed for that to be SA. Like, how could a man deal with that? That is not only corroborated by her in this situation, but she also has someone talking about it as well. Fan, but we'll get to that point later on. So she does end up later addressing this situation. This is all kind of like follow-up, you know, this is all kind of like leading up exposition. There is more that has recently come out because she came back and she, keep in mind, this shit hits the fan. She is going to follow up later by making a mockery of the situation, making fun of it. But we'll get there. So this follows into Nina Lynn later actually addressing the situation. She said that she thought it was a joke and acknowledges that she was in the wrong. Let's hold that one up. Okay.
He's okay with that ass. Because he's been very nice. He's always been very nice to me, you know? Who are we talking about? Guys, we're talking about Saeed. And this situation, what I'm talking about, has nothing to do with YBG and none of that. So I don't want to hear his name, but it only has to do with me and Saeed. And listen, I'm old enough to own up to what I did wrong. And during the situation, I genuinely 100% thought it was a joke. I just thought he was laughing, so I'm like, oh, like we all just laughing and geeking. But yeah, I see. It is wrong. It is really, really wrong. And what we did was wrong. You know, he clearly was uncomfortable with it, you know, and he was very hurt by it. So that's all that we know. I'm gonna always be all right.
And he's very hurt by it. That's all that we know. So again, that's not really, a lot of people are like, she's not apologizing because she actually feels any of these things. She's apologizing because you saw afterwards, the first initial response to it was like, there was no SA. And then everyone's like, yeah, there was. Also, he's embarrassed. He should be embarrassed. And then that proceeded into this like quote unquote apology. So like, how do you confirm something like that afterwards? Like, how do you know that they're being authentic? Well, you know, based on their actions, and those didn't lead into anything that made sense. So She does, and keep in mind, this is like a couple, maybe a day or two in between these responses. So she completely flips script. There's no further, real acknowledgement of it in any useful way. There we go. So, excuse me. They now finally, probably likely as a response to the situation, they end up both banning Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer, who were both of the women that were involved. That ban, I think I said it lasted a week. I apologize. That ban lasted about 1 to 2 days. So we have the stream clips of that. Twitch unbans Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer within 48 hours after resurfaced assault clip. Within 48 hours. So this is a Dexerto article kind of talking about this, and we can take a look at that just to get a better timeline. Twitch has reinstated the channels of streamers Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer within 48 hours of being suspended. Viewers believe that they were initially banned due to the resurfaced clip. Now, keep in mind, all of this is happening at the same time that they are dealing with the pushback and the blowback from Emiru getting assaulted at TwitchCon. So they are allowing this person who both of them really assaulted this dude to just stream, even after it's been covered, even after it's been recognized and clearly visible from the stream clips that they were doing this to him. So, they're just crushing it on all fronts. It stems from, there we go. And Saeed responded about it. This is just unreal with them getting unbanned. 40K likes. Just fucking absurd. I think ads are being played right now. I just got like a notification. If that's the case. Shit. I think it comes back after a minute. I don't know. I don't keep track of I usually just hit skip and I forgot. Sorry. There we go. So of course that ends up happening. With Twitch initial ban, Saeed decided to come out on stream explaining his side of the situation about how that situation. Okay, so during all of this, we end up getting Saeed's point of view, Saeed's stuff, and he ends up actually having he makes a statement on Twitch. It's like 13 minutes long. This is Saeed here.
Because I don't care about money. I don't care about anything like that. I don't know. As you know, in February, some things did happen on the stream. And I didn't handle it properly. I mean, I did talk about it briefly, and I just didn't want to deal with it more because
turn it up for you guys.
Reacting to certain ways. I have logs of multiple things talking about it, and I'll show all of them, and I will come out about past experiences where this has affected me a lot. Back when it originally happened, it was, I'm not going to show the video because it does still make me weirded out a lot. But originally when it happened, one of my friends reached out to me because I went live to get my mind off of it. And wait 1 second.
This is him from when that went down. Like, people are assuming that there were assumptions made that people were, there were assumptions made that Saeed was doing this for clout, that he was doing it for attention, something along those lines. These were messages that he was exchanging with his friend at that time. YUN stream, people are just ruining my mood. I want to blow my brains out. I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now. And like, Fred's like, okay, you good, bro? Like, what is going on?
They asked me why I didn't stream. And honestly to God, it was doing a lot towards me. And the reason why I didn't say anything about it on stream or anything like that is I've dealt with something like this before. And I didn't want to when I dealt with it originally, I was working at a job, and it was a gym, and I told my boss about it, and all he did was make jokes about it. And I tried to talk about it a lot more, and I didn't want to tell my parents. And it did affect me a lot. And this situation did bring back those memories. And it was hard to move past it originally. I went ahead and talked to my friend about it.
So just keep in mind that, you know, I guess nobody would have known this, but he's already dealt with this once. And the issue that he ran into is that his boss just made jokes about it. The following up is that this situation happens, and Nina Lin, the person who literally was a part of it and did it, is saying it would be embarrassing for him as a man to have this come out, that he was like sexually assaulted by 2 women. Like, how embarrassing is that? And poking fun at it. So the exact same thing is happening to the guy. Like, I feel terrible. So he says, I shouldn't have turned on stream because it just made it worse. Yeah, everybody needs that time and space. I'm not sure what the situation is, but honestly, or this isn't Saeed, this is his friend. Never let someone else's opinion affect you if it goes against your morals and values. So the reason why the whole situation was like bad for me is because I was assaulted 2 to 3 years ago by a gay man and nearly R-worded. What the fuck? I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yeah, that's why I got my mods to just ban the term, because I don't want to talk about it. Just weird situation. Do you feel a certain way about it now, or are you still healing from it? Well, it opened up past thoughts during that time. The person responds back. They've just kind of like blacked it out. I feel like you're really going through it right now, today specifically, or at these past days, or these past few days have been very mentally burdening. Yeah, it happened 2 days in a row. Just need to like mentally reset. So just like, it's bad.
Having to read all the messages, I would happy. And then I said I was depressed for the last 3 days. I don't know. I just ever since that this whole thing resurfaced, like every single time it resurfaces, it just takes a toll on me, and I just don't want to talk about it just because of that. And like the main thing for me is like I don't want my parents to see it and then have them like break down over it, because I did later on tell my parents about the sexual assault, and my mom ended up crying for a whole month and felt like it was her fault. In its circle, and it didn't stay in the circle, and it was very hard to hear my IRL say that she wanted me to tell her. And I think that really, like, I was just depressed all day yesterday, and I did not want to talk to anyone.
Another thing to point out, and like he's saying, so this idea that Nina was like, I need to talk to this dude face to face. Do you typically do you have that opportunity as like being the perpetrator, that you have the, what is that, the respect or the decency to speak to the person that you did it to? Like, we need to sort this out. Like, obviously, maybe you should probably, speak to someone that knows him, communicate in that way if you need to. But it's very clear that you're not somebody that he wants to speak to. Excuse me. Like, you're not the person. Why would you think that he would want to engage with you after you assaulted him? Like, that doesn't make sense. There's no like respected, equal common decency that should be expected here. He believes that you sexually assaulted him. Like, that's kind of it. Like even just the belief, like you can't really get through that. You can have conversations maybe with like people around it. I get that it's like if you don't believe that happened, you need to figure it out. But like, holy shit, just an insane kind of. Seems like she's just belittling the events. Well, not seems like she is, and she did it time after time. Sorry, that shit got to me too. Yeah, he wasn't doing super well. And he goes over, he talks about, yeah, there was another one here actually that he addresses that I want to bring up too. Let me see here.
Things that people are showing now, and I literally run away here. I literally run away here, and I'm getting chased down the whole time. And this is the part where it literally just hold me down again and do it.
So, not once, multiple times they're doing this to this dude. Like, it's a joke. Yeah, just disgusting. So this isn't like a run of the mill, like, oh my gosh, we made a mistake. This is like repeated shit that they're doing, over and over to this dude. I was not able to garner from any of these experiences, at least from the footage themselves, at least from the footage itself, that he was happy about any of these incidents, or that he was showing any reason for them to believe that he was cool with what they were doing. He was smiling, going along with it. You're also on stream. There's kind of oh, whoa, my mic is peaking. Sorry. There's kind of an unspoken rule that you're not like really trying to make crazy shit go down on stream. You usually end up having to keep that till after. It's kind of like any show, in a theater show, in a when you're running a film. Think like, I guess, Leonardo DiCaprio, during Django, he ends up cutting his hand open and he just keeps running the scene. That's an extreme example of what I'm talking about. But in like a theater show, when it's live ran and something goes wrong, you just keep going. You keep moving. You talk about it afterwards. I'm blown away that they're using, like, well, he was smiling the entire time that he was on camera. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, well, this isn't also her only victim. There's another. Let's bring them up too. So this is a clip, and we also have Toast making a tweet about it. So this is Toast. Here is the clip. This is Toast, very huge fucking streamer, super well known. He ends up getting this like massage thing, and Nina Lynn's here. And Nina just can't keep her hands to herself.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Nina.
All right.
Okay, Fred.
I know. Concentrating on the bottom.
Okay, girl.
No, Nina. Oh my. Wow, you have the best masseuse, Toast. Wow, she is so bold. You love to see it.
All right.
So bold, so bold. Yep, keep it up. Yep.
All right. Right. Yeah. It's just, it is mind blowing. Flip the genders. This doesn't go over well. This does not go over well. It's just kind of like, this would not, like, the Twitch would not have this person unbanned and banned if this shit was flipped in that way. They're very strong on that. And so, like, all of this, I don't think that they're friends. To the best of my knowledge, they're not friends. They don't know each other. Imagine like going up to someone you do not know and doing this shit. It's just, it's insane. So Toast ends up replying about it, and he ends up addressing it because the clip started going around and resurfacing. This clip is going around with a recent convo, so I'll address it. I was trying to get a massage from the physical therapist when Nina, an IRL streamer I've never met, pushed aside the therapist and started grabbing at my ass while I was already laid on the table. I felt pressured to go along with it because 3 IRL streamer cameras pointed at my face, and also, being at a sponsored event, I did not want to escalate the situation. I was extremely uncomfortable the whole time. Definitely should have said something in the moment and regret not doing so, and honestly a little ashamed of myself for not speaking up because I just know if I ever spoke about it again in the future, people will say, well, you should have stopped it then. Note, I don't agree with the quoted tweet using a derogatory term to describe Nina, just wanted to use it as context. So, yeah. Another person like, yeah, I was super uncomfortable, but we're streamed. It's a sponsored event. Go figure. No wonder that they wouldn't say anything. So Nina's got 2 victims, at least. So this Twitch clip of Toast starts going pretty viral as well, going around, and again, Nina gets banned. She gets banned. This second ban would only last 1 week, though. And very recently, on November 2nd, that ban was again lifted. She was banned for a week. That's it. She ends up making a statement on Instagram. Ooh. Let me see here. This comes from Yeet. Shout out to Yeet, of course. He's always got the receipts for everything. Nina Lynn drops a statement after her second Twitch ban, says she's sorry, some things were misunderstood, and that she's apologized profusely to Saeed and Toast. I want to start off by saying my actions and words are inexcusable, and I am in no way defending them. I will not deflect from my wrongdoings, but I will speak on my truth, as there have been, and I really want you guys to like just take this entire apology in, because you're gonna need to really prep yourself for the clip we're about to show. But I will speak my truth, as there have been many clips circulating and spreading false and skewed narratives. I want to take some time and compose myself and reflect before releasing my apology. First and foremost, the comments I made about the situation with Saeed were completely misunderstood by the public, and I regret not choosing my words carefully. It is never embarrassing to be harmed or to speak out about it, ever. What I intended on expressing is that it is incredibly inconsiderate to bring up a friend's trauma in a joking manner and weaponize it against them, against someone else on a huge platform that could re-traumatize the person harmed. I'm going to try that again. What I intended on expressing is that it is incredibly inconsiderate to bring up a friend's trauma in a joking manner and weaponize it against someone else on a huge platform that could re-traumatize the person harmed, as that is the only opinion that matters in this situation. I should have chosen my words. Well, if that's the only opinion that matters in this situation, why were you denying that sexual assault happened, even though they said it was? I should have chosen my words wisely and spoken with more empathy instead of rushing my way through it and accidentally implicating things that I don't truly believe. I'm deeply sorry for the way I addressed the situation, and it was never my intent to make matters worse. Prior to the situation escalating, as soon as I was notified that he was deeply hurt and wanted to reach out to me, I was able to message Saeed several times and apologize for my actions. Well, I mean, fucking Saeed is a better man than me to be willing to reach out and confront what he had to go through. It's inexcusable to have to let it get that far to the point where he felt uncomfortable and harmed. That was never my intent, and it was completely my fault for not stopping the segment and reading the room better. As I was convinced by others that were close to him, implicated that it was a joke, I joined in, which I was in the wrong, and I will make no excuses for my lack of awareness and my actions. In regards to disguised Toast at the... Sorry, hold on. Is that why you did it multiple times? Okay. In regards to disguised Toast at the streamer games, I was also out of line. Although I did not move the massage therapist out of the way, like that he described, I asked for permission from Toast before he had laid down. I still shouldn't have been so comfortable with him because we had never met prior to the streamer games. I don't think she said, hey, can I beat on your ass? I think she probably asked, can I give you a massage? And then did that instead. I let the focus on content creating blind me, and I went too far to get a clip. It was at the expense of someone's comfort, and I deeply regret it. I have reached out to Toast as well to apologize profusely for my actions. My intentions were never to harm Toast or to catch him off guard, and for that I am deeply sorry. would have been good to have something like this. I mean, I guess on Twitch you can't really post something like this, but she finishes it up. I've had a few days to think about how I've been approaching streaming and how my actions can negatively impact people around me. She totally could have read this off on stream. I never want that to be the case. I'm incredibly sorry for any and all harm I have caused and will strive to not only be a better streamer, but a better person overall. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. She's working on her own mental health. She's working on being a better person. We haven't ever heard that before in a content creator apology. I know I've received backlash online and I will take all of it in stride. I will never let the hateful comments stop me from pursuing my passion of streaming and being with my incredible community and the team I have built, which have truly been amazing throughout this whole situation. I won't let the haters stop me streaming with them, you know, getting me banned for sexually assaulting people on stream. Like, fuck those haters. Fuck all that noise. Whether the comments are coming from other creators, former friends, or viewers, I will strive to do better, learn, and grow, as that is the best and only option. I'm aware that no matter what I say or do, there'll be people that will use it against me, but I know myself, and I've never had malicious intent. I will work even harder than I have in the past, and although I may not ever be perfect, I'll be the best version of myself possible. Wow. Wow. That was almost touching. So, admittedly, maybe this would be convincing for some people that maybe she's turning a new leaf. If you're naive and new to the internet, you might think so. And admittedly, this is dripping with a bit of bias, if you will, because she did end up getting to come back to stream. And that stream tells a very different story. Gives a little bit of a different perspective on how she truly feels about this entire situation. So let's maybe take a look at that. So she comes back on stream, and I think I just kind of want to let the clip play.
That means hi, right?
Oh, what the fuck, yo? Why you always hitting me? Stop with those punches.
Oh shit, I can't touch you no more because I have to make a sign of DA. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, that's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna come up 3 months later.
I won't come.
Oh, me punch you? You want me to punch you? Are you okay?
Did you send that in the air or no?
You sure? So I am not sexually assaulting you.
No.
I am not. You consent to this.
Yes.
You fully am okay with this.
Yes.
You will not use this clip against me later in 3 months later.
Never.
Or 9 months later.
No.
Or 6 months later.
No.
No? Hey, chat sees this, bro. Ready? All right.
Okay.
Ready? 1. You asked for this. Nod your head. 2 times. Did you get it? Okay.
Wait, can I say something?
Damn.
Wait, can I say something?
Damn.
Listen, can I say something? Can I say something?
What?
He can't sign no consent because he's 16, so I'm not gonna lie. Yo, call your lawyer.
Motherfucker, yo, hey, you can't do that shit. Yo. Actually, no, you can do that shit. You can do whatever you want because in a court of law, you are a human.
No,
you
need a legal guardian to sign for him.
We gotta do that shit now. We really gotta do that shit now. We gotta do that shit now, bro. Because bitches get tight over anything these.
Number one, I don't know how anyone's fucking watching this. This has got to be kids watching this. I don't. Number 2, yeah. So all of that heartfelt apology, sincerity of like taking that situation seriously, and the day that she is back on stream, that is a 16-year-old in the car with her. Yeah, at least they're saying that dude's 16. She's saying, guys, hold on. You need to make sure you don't use this against me. This isn't sexual assault. Are you okay with it? She's clearly making a mockery of the fact that she got called out for this shit. I am blown away that someone who has, and we have to assume, been banned twice on the platform, which is shocking that it happened twice, was banned for sexually assaulting not only an individual Silky's assistant, but also Toast, that they get to exist on the platform at all. I'm blown away that this is still a thing. In Moist Critical's words, sexual assault bad. I'm willing to die on that hill. I do think it's bad, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't know why she's still here. It doesn't make sense. Her first stream back, she is making fun of it and punching a 16-year-old. I don't get it. I mean, everyone else is going over this in the same way. Asmongold has been doing the same shit. Even she ended up like going after Asmongold because he was talking about it. It was like, how is she not fucking banned off of the platform? This is one of Asmongold's tweets here, responding to. He was also talking about it on stream. Sexual assault live on stream is a 1-week ban. How is this possible? There's a point where people should be contacting advertisers in Amazon leadership, and I'm pretty sure we're there. Yeah, we're well past that. But this is the other clip. So she was saying shit like, you know, the dude who keeps talking about me that's living in their mother's basement. Asmongold lives in the attic, which I think he's going to clarify. But he ends up responding to her because she's like, you must be obsessed with me. You must be obsessed with me to be talking about me this much.
Uh-huh.
That weird motherfucker that lives in the basement of his mom's house.
It's an attic, excuse you.
Be chatting about me all damn day long. You are obsessed with me. I think you in love with me. No cap. I genuinely think you get no pussy and you in love with me, bro. Like, you gotta
Talk whatever you want. Crash out however much you want. That's totally fine. Nothing that you're gonna say is gonna make me mad. You're not gonna upset me. You're not gonna bait me into, you know, some weird internet beef. You're just a disgusting bitch. That's it. And it's got nothing to do with this about me at all. That's it. So I don't care.
So here's and this is, you know, a little bit of headcanon, milkman headcanon. I don't believe, well, I guess I have to. I think there are people that are dumb enough to think that, yeah, if I just say that this person who is talking about or is very vocal about me being a complete, you know, piece of shit for sexual assault, whatever that is, they must just be obsessed with me. Like they just want to have sex with me. That's got to be it. That's why they're saying all these horrible things. He's just lonely, wants to have sex with me. It's so hard for me to actually fathom that there are people who genuinely believe that, given or being in Nina's position. It feels like she only is saying that shit because that's going to kind of insulate the people that are actually like somehow diehard fans of her because they're entertained by her content and her like IRL streaming. That if they are completely tuned out from the drama in its entirety and they see her addressing Asmongold like this, saying, "Oh my God, you must be so fucking obsessed with me," doesn't even give his name, then that further insulates them because they're hearing her talk about this crazy person, and now they're hearing this person just being chalked up to, oh, they're this weird incel that wants to have sex with Nina. I don't need to look into this. It doesn't matter. It sounds like that. I have absolutely no evidence to support this, no like basis for that. It's just that's the only way I can somehow justify why she is talking about this in the way that she is. I don't know anybody that would actually use that as a defense for what she's doing. It just seems like it's going to be to her benefit just for the loyal viewers of hers to not look into this and they're just going to ignore it. But for everyone else that is watching it, it's kind of like the Dr. Disrespect thing where it's like, are you fucking serious? Like you are, that's the hill you're going to die on. You're going to call it Asmongold for being an incel. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of where we wrap it up now. So clearly she's not taking it seriously. I'm very curious to hear what people are going to think about this one because it's been going on this entire time with the Emiru shit. And to have all of this going down in tandem with Emiru, and then they followed up with what, you know, we had talked about earlier with their response and donating money. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. They should probably be putting that money into hiring new staff, but you know, that kind of wraps up that all kind of fit together. But we have one more thing to go over. Well, let's take a pause here before we go into this next thing. We're going to talk about MrBeast's Saudi Arabian amusement park. But first off, how are you guys doing? I didn't check in yet. Brushing the fur of the views, farming content. Let's go. Nothing will happen. I'm already calling it. I feel like if they keep pushing it, it's definitely going to it'll definitely result in her being banned, hopefully. MrBeast's amusement park. I did a little digging on it and I found a bit of shit, which is very interesting. TLDR, the log line for what we're about to cover is that if anything happens at that Mr. Beast amusement park, there is a good chance that we will not find out about any of it because it would be illegal for anyone to cover it. It's very, very interesting. Not in Hassan's stream, so it's already good. Let's fucking go. Let's go. What are you guys' plans? How's the weekend? What do you think of the stuff we covered so far with the Mizkif shit and all that? Nice location choice. Yeah, it is. It is. Especially when he got paid a ludicrous amount of money to have it there. It's crazy. Yeah. Let's honestly, let's jump into it. What happened to Dogpack? Off the face of the earth. Well, we'll see in the years to come, perchance. But let's close the Nina book and let's open up the Mr. Beast one. So we got over this. All right. So first and foremost, let's go over this, right? Mr. Beast Land, yeah. Mr. Beast Holds My Beer Riyadh Comedy Festival with Saudi Arabian theme park pop-up. Demi Donaldson has invited fans to head out to Riyadh to participate in Beastland, his new temporary theme park. Big thing, not a lot of people know, this is a temporary thing. This is not like an amusement park that's sticking around. It's only going to be there for a couple of weeks. But here, just read a little bit of this. Great news for anyone who's ever wanted to have their view of human rights abuses obscured by a roller coaster designed under the auspices of a guy who blends the vibes of Labrador Retriever with that weird little tricycle puppet from Saw. Mr. Beast is getting his own temporary theme park and he's building it in Saudi Arabia. Shout out to whoever wrote this. William Hughes. Very nice. It's not clear from initial statements, so they end up going into it. If Donaldson and Beastland are... Okay, so it's not clear from initial statements and press reports if Donaldson and Beastland are directly being financed as a part of the country's Saudi Vision 2030 program, which also included the comedy festival. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that one, and which counts Riyadh season as one of its flagship efforts. If I had to take a guess as to if Mr. Beast received a ludicrous sum of money to have his amusement park in Saudi Arabia as a part of the Riyadh festival that just happened, I'd take that bet. I'd take that guess. If there was anyone that I would go, yeah, that fits the bill, it would be Mr. Jimmy Breast. According to Donaldson himself, he's just hoping to serve his Saudi fans, saying, when asked about the event's location, middle of the world because a majority of my audience is outside America and we have a big Middle Eastern fan base. Wanted to give them a chance to participate. Okay, dude. Well, I'll show you guys what it looks like because the only images that they have shown so far seem to be like generated concept art. So it's not even, we don't even know what it looks like. So Mr. Beast, the whole reason we're talking about this, he put out this post. Next week, Beastland, our brand new theme park, opens. We built custom games modeled after our videos that don't exist anywhere else and will have the world's largest prize wall. So here are the photos. It doesn't look real. I'm led to believe these are just concept mock-ups. You can see, you know, little people walking into it. There's the images for it here. Oh, how sick is this? There's no light anywhere. For example, this game called Tower Siege, where you load balls into real catapults and have to land them in these giant 60-foot tubes for points. Ooh, wowee. Drop Zone is also exciting. 6 people are standing on trap doors. A button lights up in front of each player, and whoever presses it last gets dropped. Last remaining gets most points, so it's literally just a reaction game. I also made a game for people that like zip lines called Airmail. You basically have to drop a weighted bag onto a target below. Closer to the middle, the more points you get. Oh, and my last one, the most exciting one. Dungeon Escape is pretty self-explanatory. Get through the maze before others for more points. Except in the concept, if the mazes are anything like what's actually there, you can just see that there's doesn't appear that there's a way to win it. There's no... Oh, wait, there it goes. Excuse me. I'm just stupid. You come down here, you go through this door, and then it's through the middle. They're all identical. So, I mean, it's for kids, right? It's for kids. I don't need to be critiquing his maze building efforts. And honestly, he probably didn't touch this at all. He's just the branding of it. He says, I didn't want this to be like a typical theme park. The thought of things from first principles and created games I would love to play. Tons of original games created, plus, of course, we have roller coasters and rides. Opening day is November 13th. He is right. I don't think I've ever seen anyone build this. I don't think this is interesting. This is a reaction game, and this is just one of those carnival games where you get the ball into the hole. As a kid, this would be a blast. Potentially. I'd be the most stoked for this one. And then a link to tickets. Okay, so at first, all right, admittedly, there's not a whole lot going on. Okay, he's got a cringe amusement park. Well, maybe just a kid amusement park out in Saudi Arabia. Big deal. So for funsies, I start doing a little bit of research. I start looking around, and so I go to his the website, the landing page for Beastland. So let me zoom in here. So here it is, Beastland. Ooh boy, exciting. Going over this. These look like AI, but I don't know. Maybe they weren't generated with AI. Terms and conditions. In purchasing this ticket, you agree to abide by all the terms and conditions in adherence to any other responsible terms and conditions or restrictions provided by the organizer before or during the event. Okay. So we go through pretty standard stuff. Ticket holder is solely responsible, this kind of stuff. In case of leaving the venue, not allowed to return. Okay. Animals not allowed. It makes sense. No professional cameras and video recorders are permitted at the venue. At first I was like, maybe that's a bit weird. But, in retrospect, maybe he doesn't want people there that have, full on camera equipment. Maybe they're shooting stuff. At least it doesn't seem like they're saying no phones. And pretty much everyone's phone works as a camera, right? So it's probably not that crazy. The ticket holder consents to photographs, videos, audio recordings of ticket holder to be captured and used in printed and electronic media, including the internet, as an attendee at the venue. So, in the event that anything happens to you, whether you have a good time or an absolutely horrific time, it doesn't matter. You could be turned into you could be clip farmed, essentially. Okay. End of the day, I'm pretty sure other theme parks, other amusement theme parks, they would probably do something similar. The organizer accepts no liability for bodily injury, illness, or death of any visitor, including ticket holder, and or loss or damage to personal effects arising out of or in connection with the event. Again, every company does this. I checked Saudi Arabian law. It's the exact same where, yes, those things are meant for, if someone trips and falls, or it's kind of like they had an incident themselves. But if if a ride failed to operate properly and that ended up killing somebody, they would still be held liable for that. Okay, cool. And then towards the bottom here, number 20, adherence to the rules of public taste in line with the culture, values, and traditions of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now that one was the interesting one for me. That sounded very vague. Okay, the public taste in Saudi Arabia, what does that even mean? Why do we have to be in compliance with that? Well, it actually exists as described. Let me show you guys. So we're going to get into a bit more about Saudi Arabia and how free it isn't. This is 20 violations of the public taste regulations in Saudi Arabia. They have these as actual policy. Since its inception, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been keen to preserve the customs, traditions, and values of which the Saudi citizen was raised, and prevent all forms of infringement and mockery of religious and national symbols. With the issuance of the public taste preservation regulations, the kingdom affirms the prohibition or infringement tampering with these values. Okay, let's take a look at what that means. So it's where do these laws apply? So it's just everywhere outdoors public. And here's the list. Now there's a lot of ones here, some that are a bit strange. These are all prohibited. So wearing underwear and nightgowns prohibited around these public places. I'm assuming underwear, they're meaning if you were only wearing underwear or visible underwear. Probably not if you are only wearing, or if you're just wearing underwear in general. I don't think they're forcing everyone to go commando. They do have some pretty based public taste laws. Anyone who uses seats and facilities for the elderly and people with disabilities will be punished with a fine. There was also anyone who crosses waiting lines in public places will be punished with a fine of 50 Saudi riyals, up to 100 in the event of repetition. Kind of based. And then we get these. Anyone who commits indecent behavior that includes sexual connotations will be punished with a fine. So, like PDA, public displays of affection. Anyone who plays music during the call to prayer and prayer times will be punished with a fine of this much and will be doubled. By the way, 1,000 Saudi riyals, that is like $230, like roughly around there. This one. Anyone who films people without their permission or films criminal or traffic accidents without obtaining permission shall be punished with a fine of 1,000 Saudi riyals, or $200, and forced to cancel and delete the photos, and the fine in the event of repetition shall be doubled to about $500 then. That's interesting. So, number one issue. Anyone who films without permission, okay, you get fined. All right, big deal. If you film a criminal or traffic violation, it's weird that they specify that, right? Well, there are instances of that happening. I found an incident. I believe this is translated. This is from Arab News. Graphic video of Medina car crash enrages Saudi Arabian social media. Saudi Twitter launched a hashtag getting this dude arrested because he filmed a video of injured victims of a horrific bloody traffic accident on the way to Medina City. Okay. So the way they're describing it, the way that it's being framed in this news article, it sounds like they don't want someone to record like gore, like record footage of the victims. But, the issue that you can kind of see that might arise is they cover traffic accidents or criminal like accidents. Well, what if there's an issue with one of the rides? What if somebody here is recording a video of their child, which already they'd be breaking the law here. They could be getting fined for recording their child on a park ride. And what if that ride breaks down? Not only would they be punished, for filming this criminal accident without obtaining permission and getting, punished, getting fined, they would be forced to delete the photos. They'd be forced to delete and cancel the photos. And filming, so video as well. They would be forced to delete any evidence. So if something happens in MrBeast land where somebody gets injured or like something goes down, there's a chance that regardless of any of that, we won't know about it at all, or there might not be footage of it because those people would be getting fined and that content deleted. Because like we saw in Beastland's terms and conditions, they have to abide by these public taste, have to adhere to the rules of public taste in the blah, blah, blah in Saudi Arabia. So that's not looking good. Now, I'm sure most people, I'm curious to hear from chat here. You guys are familiar with the Saudi Arabia, the human rights that exist in Saudi Arabia? You could probably count them on one hand. I'm sure you guys heard of the Riyadh Festival, the comedy Riyadh Festival. Moist Critical did a video about it, so as far as I'm concerned, most people know. They legit have a no filming fine in Japan too, in Kyoto, and as a result of people not respecting others in culture. It's a general rule, and I really don't think this is that big of a deal. I think that they're specifying that it is a filming of specifically filming criminal or traffic accidents. That's an issue. That's an issue that I have. I understand not recording people because it's in a private area. I understand that, but being fined and forced to delete something and they specify that it's in regard to a criminal accident, that's strange. I know about the lack of rights. Yeah. So, I just wanted to show this too. This is funny. So, well, this is kind of proof that it was a signed deal. Let me jump over really quick. Middle East and North African MENA region, flush with petrodollars and ambition, continue court Western content creators with jaw-dropping deals. The latest, Saudi Arabia. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for you. Saudi Arabia has signed YouTube titan MrBeast Jimmy Donaldson to headline the 2025 Riyadh season, the kingdom's annual entertainment extravaganza that drew 17 million visitors in 2024. According to Turkey, I'm not gonna be able to do that respectfully. MrBeast will spearhead the creation of MrBeast Park, a series of offline challenges, exclusive content, and immersive experience tailored for the festival. So there was a deal signed. He also didn't mention that when people asked why he was doing it there. So obviously Riyadh Festival, there were the comedians that went there, essentially were just selling their soul for the bag. They were getting hella money. It looked like an AI image of MrBeast there. Well, let's just do a quick little Google here, shall we? Where does Saudi Arabia rank in human rights? Let's do that. Well, let's not just use ChatGPT, or let's not just use Google AI, right? This is from freedomhouse.org. Take that with you will. It's a .org. Saudi Arabia ranks 9 out of 100 and 25 out of 100 for internet freedom, global freedom. Political rights, 1 out of 40. Civil liberties, 8 out of 60. I don't know about you guys. Those are pretty low numbers. Saudi Arabia's absolute monarchy restricts almost all political rights and civil liberties. No officials at the national level are elected. The regime relies on pervasive surveillance, the criminalization of dissent, appeals to sectarianism and ethnicity, and public spending supported by oil revenues to maintain power. Women and members of religious minority groups face extensive discrimination in law and in practice. Working conditions for the large expatriate labor force are often exploitative. Well, so yeah, they're not doing the best. Now, there's a couple of things in tandem with that I kind of wanted to talk about, specifically the women's rights thing. So in 2018, this is a good one. In 2023, it was ranked by Freedom House as the world's most authoritarian regime. I'm going to link this Wikipedia for the video that I'm going to make on this. It's not great. The World Economic Forum, in regard to the gender gap, this is what I was looking for here. So they scanned, they ranked 149 countries here. The World Economic Forum, in its Global Gender Gap Report in 2018, ranked Saudi Arabia 141 out of 149 countries on gender equality. Now, it has been 5 years since then, so maybe they moved up a few. But it's not looking good. They did, however, roughly at around that same time, I think a little bit before that was conducted, in 2018, they did finally let women start driving in 2018. We were playing Minecraft here. I was 18 years old. Yeah, so 2018. So what is that? 7 years ago, women started to get to drive. Heck yeah. Also, homosexuality, they're not okay with that. Really not big fans of that. Just a lot of what you would expect in the modern world is just not really accepted there again. It's a regime, right? So, MrBeast putting an amusement park here. Heck yeah. So, it's not great. There was another piece that I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, so also Saudi Arabia is kind of known for their labor force and the fact that most of them are kind of slaves. And when I say kind of, there was a really good video that was done about this that ended up getting pushback. It's so crazy that this is getting brought up right now because it comes from, what is his name? August the Duck. He's talking about Whistling Diesel. You guys know who that is? Let me.
Well, guys,
I actually just watch August the Duck a lot. Let me see here. So he talks about it because Whistling Diesel is kind of like supporting this, like he loves Dubai. He can't get enough of Dubai. And he makes this comment on a video, which I wanted to talk about here.
Somebody, especially somebody with a large platform on the internet, talks negatively about Dubai, you best believe that Cody's going to come running to Dubai's defense. And that's exactly what happened with a recent video that a YouTuber named Ben of the Week made. He made a video where he went to Dubai with the intention of sort of exposing the side of Dubai that social media doesn't really show you. The extreme wealth disparities, entire economies being held up by forced labor, and just all of the horrific things that I'm sure you've heard about Dubai in passing. If you've never heard about those things, I'd really recommend you go give that video a watch. Even if you have heard about them, I'd still recommend you go watch it. But in that video, Ben talks about a very prominent issue in Dubai where people from other countries recommend you go watch it. But in that video, Ben talks about a very prominent issue in Dubai where people from other countries go to Dubai to work, usually kind of under false pretenses. They're exposed to horrible living conditions, their passports are taken away, and when all is said and done, they are essentially enslaved. They're working terrible hours in terrible conditions, and they don't really have an option to quit because they can't leave. It's a terrible issue. It's not something that just happens in Dubai either, but
So, TLDR, they lose their passport and they can't really leave, and then they're doing these jobs that they had originally came with to do, like on a promise of completely different, working conditions, etc. They can't leave. It's practically slave labor. A lot of people have covered this, not even just Ben, although I'm going to put his video link. I'll put his video link down in the description for the video that I'm making on this. But more than that, it hasn't just been them talking about this. This is another article. This came out in 2024. 21,000 killed working on Saudi mega projects during construction. Report. Thousands of workers have reportedly been killed or have gone missing during the construction of several mega projects in Saudi Arabia. Around 21,000 foreign workers have died, and 100,000 more have gone missing since 2017. 100,000. Working on several projects as part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative, according to an ITV documentary. The report found that migrant workers brought to Saudi Arabia from India, Bangladesh, and Nepal were repeatedly killed in work accidents or by poor conditions at the construction sites across the country. Workers described their treatment as trapped slaves and beggars, with several violations of work safety regulations reported. Around 100,000 migrants have been reported missing since the construction projects first began 8 years ago, leading to serious human rights investigations in Saudi Arabia. Nepal's Foreign Employment Board, which manages the well-being of Nepalese workers abroad, has reported that the deaths of over 650 Nepalese migrants to Saudi Arabia remain unexplained. Yeah. So, in one of the worst cases in the documentary, a Nepalese worker identified as Raju, I can't do that properly, called friends and family for help, saying, "Please rescue me," before being found dead in his room after reportedly being told he could leave if he paid a fine equal to 5 months' salary. So, yeah. They're not doing well. Saudi Arabia, not in a good place. Doesn't look good. I think it's been pretty well established that they're not a place that you want to put on a pedestal. And yes, they have a ton of oil money, and they are definitely buying out, what we're seeing with instances with like the comedy festival where, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, all these huge names took the Saudi bag, went out, performed. Even Chappelle was being quoted as like, you have more freedom to speak about things, or it's better, safer to talk about things in Saudi Arabia than it is in the US, when they're killing journalists in Saudi Arabia. They hate journalists in Saudi Arabia. So it's just kind of bizarre. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's pretty tough to justify working with them and taking money from them from a moral standpoint. That being said, if they offered me $10 million to throw it back for a ride for them, I might have to do that. And as soon as the wire comes through, I'd probably talk about it. But for $10 million, fuck, Jokes aside, fucked up. I'm very curious to hear what other people think. I'm very interested to see how it goes down if we end up actually getting actual photos, videos from Beastland when it finally goes through. A lot of people again were confused. It is only going to be lasting for a few months or for a few weeks. But yeah, that's kind of where we end up coming to a close. trying to think here. We kind of hit every single thing that we needed to. In all honesty, I'll probably have to re-record a few bits of this, but I think we sufficiently touched everything that we needed to. So last thing here really quick before we get to go in here. So for those who weren't here at the beginning, I'm going to be taking all of the different things that we talked about here. So the Mizkif Emiru stuff I'll be putting out as the first video that'll come out either tonight or tomorrow morning. The second thing talking about Nina Lin, that'll come out probably Wednesday, is what I'm shooting for. And then Friday I'll have the MrBeast thing. I'm going to try to make all of these readily available earlier on for members only. So if you want to be a member, it's like 99 cents. Just figure there's a way to help people there. I'm doing this to prep for this coming weekend here, as I'm going to be doing a bachelor thing, so I won't be home. So if you guys want to tune into that early, that's where it'll be. But I think that's everything that we had to cover. Is there anything else that I missed? Anything we want to touch on? Also, shout out again to Zoe. Thank you so much, Zoe. Helped me prep the Nina Lin thing. Pretty much all this, really. I really appreciate it. There's a lot to go over. Had a bad feeling about MrBeast for a while. Dude, you and me both, man. Honey kind of feeling? Yeah. Let's see here. Here we go. Discord. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Discord. Here, I'll probably hop in after. I'll hop in after stream for you guys here. So, let's see. Post a link. Yeah. If you guys are over 18, because I don't want to, we're not here to parent any kids here. Come join the Discord. I play Arc Raiders. Been having a lot of fun with that, and we just want to see more people in it. So please pop through. Here's a link to that. That's for some reason only going to Twitch. Let me try that again. New pixel art in it as well. You can check out Hornet's Discord art. If you guys want to, I'll hop in and we can chat. If you guys are new here, want to chat, I can hop in and I'm going to shoot the shit, play some video games before heading to bed tonight and doing all that stuff. So feel free to join in. But I think that comes to a close. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is a very fun one. Very, very exciting. Been a couple of days. It was a chill Sunday evening. Why not? Just get through it. I don't think there were any donos or anything. I didn't see any come through. Let me make sure. Probably not. Okay, cool. I have this like multi-chat thing up, so they don't show up sometimes. But thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Enjoy your time. Go watch some other stuff. Hang out, chill. Watch some of my videos. And I'll see you guys later. Adios. Peace.